God, here we go. We got Nuqqet versus Mawkzy in the EU Cash Cup. Some high level 1 versus 1. Best of 5. The Mawk versus Nuggets. This is winners finals. So the 2 highest queued players for sure are Mr. Mawkzy and Nuqqet. And Mawkzy was in a nail biter in the last series. I cannot tell a lie. Him against Motion went to Game 5 OT, but he did advance. Nuqqet advancing against Mozzarella 3-1. Nuqqet has been a strong 1v1er since many years ago. Now, is he at the level to take down the Mawk? I mean, almost no one is, right? He won EU RLCS and won the LAN. So truly, you have to think Mawkzy is unbeatable in EU. Now, Nuqqet did not get to play EU RLCS on account of being banned from RLCS for the whole YMC throwing a game situation. I believe that ban will expire probably at the end of the season. And then he should be able to play RLCS next season once again. He's rocking the new BDS decal. One of the ones that chat loved the most. Claiming it to be S tier. It's over already. He's unbanned. You know what? I was about to say, I'm not sure if he can play in these Cash Cups if he's banned. But yeah, I guess it's over. He's back. He's a new man. Reformed. This is why we put people in jail. So they can come back completely and utterly reformed with no issues. I'm sure that's not a controversial statement at all. He's competing in Open Qualifier 4. Wait, for which region? Imagine he just goes right back to SSA and does the same exact thing that he did last time. EU. Okay. Nice fake from Nuggets. Nuqqet was unbanned a day after EU 1v1 registration closed. That is diabolical. But what can you do? If Milk wins Worlds, he's just undisputed GOAT of 1v1, right? If Mawkzy wins the World LAN matchup against the winner of Mina NA, is he undisputed GOAT? Probably not. It's so tough because you're just punishing players who played previously who didn't have RLCS 1v1s, who maybe very realistically could have done the exact same thing if RLCS 1v1 existed. So it's a tough comparison, as always, across eras. Nuqqet has equalized here. Are you trying to imply that Fairy Peak could not have also won RLCS 1v1 Worlds had it existed? I'm worried it might be the exact opposite. If they had 1v1 Worlds the whole time around, would Fairy Peak just be sitting on a ton of championships? And would it be impossible to ever usurp him? Mawkzy is farming content again, although I don't think he's farming content. I think Nuqqet and Motion are playing well. Nuggets always been a really speedy player, but the kind of player you'd think could have trouble against such a, you know, what's the word? Can't think of it. Mawkzy, a player like Mawkzy, who has tons of ones experience. Master's not. I was thinking of like, you know, rigid. What's the word I'm looking for, chat? He's not. It's not rigid. It's not regimented. It's like. I feel like it starts with an R though. It's not torqued. I give up. It's not ridiculous either. I failed. Okay, I failed. I couldn't think of the word. Maybe there just isn't a word. Refined, resilient. No, it's probably not an R word. Just stop. is like describing him as like, you know, if you were in the army and you're like listening to a drill sergeant and you're like very, very good at, you know, following the right move, the right play. Regimented? I don't know if that's it though. It might be regimented though. It might be regimented. But I don't like the way it sounds. It doesn't sound cool, so I just want to back off that. Pretend like I never said it. It's become a whole thing at this point. Hardworking. That's what it was. Refined could work as well. Nugget up 7-4, by the way, while we search for the word I was trying to use. Mawkzy, ooh, double jump bump denied. Great defense from Nugget. He is a pro. You want to know how I know? That's the clan he's in. He's in pro clan. Although, went for this reset shot just a little bit too late. It's easy for Mawkzy to get a low save and therefore quick recovery and counter. Rusty thinks the answer to everything is the longest copy pasta command you could possibly hope for. Mawkzy bringing it within one here, though. That wasn't even you? I blame Rusty. Nugget trying to pre-jump the air dribble pump. Oh my goodness, what a save from Nuggets. Huge game one win potentially here. The way Mawkzy does it, I just kind of assumed he'd win it. So often Mawkzy makes it seem close, then we start believing in the underdog, and then he shuts that belief down and wins the game. But I'm starting to believe. Uh-oh. Oh no. Hey, nice demo to make my belief not wrong. Should be able to waste a ton of time now. Although it did seem like a chance for a quick Mawkzy goal. Oh, Nugget did the thing Mawkzy does. Baiting somebody into a bad play at the last second. He's not even going to score it. Or will he? 0 second tap in. Ooh. Almost got the perfect roll across the net. I think there's probably like 0.2 seconds on the clock, but they rounded up, I'm pretty sure. Game number 1 to Nuggets. Potentially send in the mock to the lower bracket winner 1. I'm like champ 1 in poetry in my country. Dope, dude. Congratulations. Where would you guys rank yourselves in terms of poetry in your country? I'm bronze, dude. I've like gotta be bronze. Mawkzy, tied up here in game 2, has held possession this whole entire time with Nugget chasing him down. Nugget continuing to be a pest on low boost and might have dispossessed him. I guess I'm probably unranked if I don't play any poetry at all. And I would say I haven't queued up poetry in a while. So I'm probably unranked. I only queue casual poetry. Yeah, I think I'm for sure. Casual poetry's for me. I'm more of a heat seeker poet. In the sense that like you write one word and then the poet kind of, or the poetry kind of just writes itself for you. So you're an AI poet, is what I'm understanding. Nugget wanted the bump there, or a box out. Nuggets cutting high over the top. Can he make these recoveries though? So often he's left himself in too deep against the Mach. Going all in. Stuff you really need to clean up, although has a chance here. Half flip recovery for the Mach. Not gonna be good enough. 2-2. Nuggets always had a strong kickoff as well, which allows him to contend with the Mawkz. Oh my goodness, he made me look so smart. I'm a genius. Clearly I must know ball. I said that before the start of the kickoff. Why pronounce his name Nuggets? I think that's what it's supposed to be. He just puts the Q's in for flair, because they kind of look like G's, but they're not G's. Also, you can never type his name how it's spelled in any place that has chat moderation, because it thinks you're trying to be sneaky. It's like, I'm not sure what you're going for, but I'm not going to trust it, and it doesn't let you type it. So we just go with Nugget. Although it looks a little bit funny because it's forced into all caps, both on my overlay and in game, which of course makes the Q look a lot less like a G. But if you look in the bottom left, that's how he spells his actual name, and you can see that it's, you know, it's missing one tiny little curve from being a G. This is a nice flick, by the way, from Mr. Nugget. Top right, kind of the opposite of a Mawkzy flick. Just to show the yin and yang of the matchup. Little box out from Nugget. Not to get himself boost. No way he makes it back to this one, right? Still a Mawkzy goal. Boost. Wall dash for Nugget. Can he stay supersonic and get a demo? I feel like that's what he needed to do to survive in that play. But man, he's done such a good job of getting out and around Mawkzy demo attempts. Mawkzy cannot be allowed to get into his ground game too often if you want to come out with a win. But man, Nugget's about to go up 2-0 here with 30 seconds left to go. A lot of people looked at the signups here for this tournament and said, well, this is a free Mawkzy win, but both Nugget and Motion showing right now it's going to be far from free. Nugget wants a demo sidewall, doesn't get it. 18 seconds left to go. Mawkzy is set up for a Mawkzy flick right here, or a double jump bump, but Nugget's actually done a good job of getting around these, man. This is the mistake I felt like he was making on LAN, and I wanted to reach through the screen and tell him, which is like, dude, your air dribble bumps have stopped working. You got to do something else. And it's kind of similar here. The air dribble bumps have not shown success. There's basically the forfeit in the last 6 seconds from the Mach. Down 0-2 against Nuqqet. Gonna have to find the answer here. No more lives left in this winner's final. Game number 3, Nuqqet versus Mawkzy. Not the start to the series that we were expecting, but Nuggets showing that he would have been a force to be reckoned with if he could have played in the EU 1v1 RLCS. And as I say that, he gets a little bit too greedy for a back corner boost and lets Mawkzy go up early. The prediction has 89% in favor of Mawkzy. So a lot of people about to get rich on a Nuqqet bets in chats. High reward of Wikipedia points if they do manage to get it correct. What's the new BDS roster? Isn't it Metzer, Nico, and Juke? Isn't that the squad who now represent BDS? BDS had a decal coming, and I think seemed like they need to make sure they have a team. I wonder if the players at all could have used that as leverage. Like, hey, are you just signing us because you need to have a team before this decal comes out? If so, we want double. Mawkzy, look at this 50. Just around Nuggets nets. Jumps up, pulls his car away to keep the ball perfectly in place for the follow-up. Yeah, Nuqqet is indeed good for anybody who doesn't know about Nuqqet. Probably came in as the number 2 seed just based on rank. Rank 13 in the world, I think, is what we saw. Definitely the kind of guy we'd expect to be in the grand final based on who signed up. And here he is in the winners finals. I'm expecting a rematch. Motion looks pretty good, though, so I guess it depends how Motion and Nuqqet go. Nuqqet, though, clearly looking stronger. And if Mawkzy goes down, I'm not predicting against Mawkzy not making it back. I'm assuming Mawkzy will make it back in the grands. Nuggets, air dribble bump, too high. Currently tied 2-2, minute 30 in. Mawkzy has not been able to pull away in any of the games, which I know is crazy to say. I mean, if you just watch both these guys for the first time, you're like, why do you keep talking like this Mawkzy guy's going to win? Nuqqet has been leading all the games and just winning. But with context, everyone is expecting Mawkzy to take over here soon. Mawkzy is in the middle of a subathon, so there's a air dribble bump finally working. Hadn't worked for a while. Had been a bit overused, but this time off the kickoff got a better setup. Nuqqet couldn't really work around defensively. Nuqqet, greedy attempt there on the side wall to try and pinch the ball away. Doesn't connect. 5-2 for the mock. Too many haters are coming out of the woodwork. They're fueling the Mawkzy fire. Nuqqet going to secure a boost still here. And probably has to convert off this possession to try and bring this one back. It's been a little bit too Mawkzy favored. He does pick up all the 100 pads, but now in a tough spot controlling the ball off the back wall. Is going to race Mawkzy to the boost. Mawkzy trying to jump to avoid demos and maybe get to that hitbox earlier. But still, Nuggets the one who gains control. Interesting movement here from Nuqqet, landing in reverse. Thinking about turning around, going away, but right back into the challenge. Now Nuqqet over the top of the bump. Ooh, he just barely clipped the 100, but Mawkzy bumps him. That boost advantage will help him out here. As Mawkzy flicks high and will have to back off. All right, Nuggets need a strong take here and only have a couple pads to do it. And look at the flick. It's the Nugget flick. Mawkzy's going top left. Nugget's going top right. A minute 43. I almost feel like Nuqqet has to win. He has to win this game. You just have to close it out against Mawkzy. You cannot let the series get any longer. Kickoff, win, undercut on the mock, and the tap towards the nets. Well executed by Mr. Nuqqet. Both of them on the wave dash kickoff. Not easy to undercut and get just the right touch. Minute 38. Another wave dash kickoff pair, and Nuqqet not going to be able to get his own 100. But a couple good wall dashes keeps him with high speed and actually wins a 50 on the backflip challenge from Mawkzy. Now this ball floating high. Ooh, bad landing. That's a big deal here, as I think it's going to lead to a very favorable position for Mawkzy, but I didn't necessarily expect an own goal. Was it an own goal, or did Mawkzy just chip it? Yeah, it's an own goal. It's a pool shot own goal. I was like, it has an orange trail, but Mawkzy should not have been able to hit that. And it all comes down to that missed dash that then led to Nuggets playing from behind. He does such a good job of using his speed to keep him involved in every moment, but you run the risk of a mistake and it all crumbling in front of you. 7-4 now after the demo for Mock. Seems like he's at least not going to get swept, but you never know. With 54 seconds left to go. Feared wave dash kickoff's going to favor Mawkzy this time. Nuqqet can't clear this ball out, can't get his own boost, and this just has to be a game win for Mawkzy. Even if he doesn't score, I mean, with this boost advantage, how he likes to play in the final moments, he's just going to be securing this game. Is NA RLCS tomorrow? Yes, it is. Mina was today. People who came out on top: Falcons, Sleeping, Twisted Minds, Alcatia were your top four. It's a bit of surprise seeing no Vision there. And Rise got kicked. Yeah, Rise got kicked for scoring too many clutch goals. Oh, goodness. Nuggets going to make us go to one more kickoff by scoring this one. Is Mawkzy still unsigned? Yeah, he was going to sign with the mates, but that fell through. And I don't really know why. So now he's unsigned still. But if I'm Mawkzy, I'm probably trying to get like a long-term deal. I don't want an org to just jump in and say, you know, hey, we want to put our brand on your name for 1v1 Worlds, and then we're going to ditch you. I'd be like, no, commit to signing me for a long time. Maybe that's what teams don't want to do. I don't know. Mawkzy going to go up early and gain number 4 as well. You think it's because he wanted to keep his POV stream? Oh. Is that right? Well, he got 40K viewers on it. So that would be understandable. Maybe the mate said, we'll sign you, but then your games will be played from... Well, actually, for the Worlds, he didn't get 40K. He got more during the actual 1v1 tournament. They only wanted to sign him after he qualified. So once he qualified, I think that's when they were going to try and sign him. Which, you know, it's like also have the strength to sign him. But oh, what? What was that about? Why? You're down 0-2, Mawkzy. We're not in position to farm even more content. You've got to let the ball go in. Mawkzy makes more from streaming his POV than what the mates offered him. Well, is that why the mates are signing him? Just so they could get his POV stream on their channel or whatever? Like, it doesn't even necessarily seem like that's why. You signed to get their brand, their brand on the main channel. You know? Like, have the Gentlemates logo show up next to him and everybody talking about how he's from the Gentlemates. More so than just the stream that his POV plays on. Yeah, if anything, like, that's maybe more viewers. Yeah, I don't know. That's interesting. If I'm Gentlemates, I feel like I end up letting him have that if that's what he wants. Yeah, it'd be good for him to say he's on Mawkzy's stream that he's Gentlemates Mawkzy. Two now. Could be 3 for Mawkzy, but he hard trolled a ball that I mean, I don't even know how to explain it. He went into the net to go save it. Like, I don't know what. He put it on target, and then he went into the net to save his own shot in what feels like a truly inexplicable decision. And now Nuggets on a roll. There was a time, you guys remember, type 1 in chat if you were around for it. Nugget played like 4 or 5 show matches in a row against some really strong players and won all of them, and was like destroying too, because Nugget goes so hard that, like, and plays so fast that he can really snowball games and just kind of take over when he's playing perfect. And he had a good few show matches in a row that it was like really time to wonder if he's amongst the top dogs. I can't remember how it ended. I don't know if I feel like Atto is for some reason coming to my head. He maybe played, maybe one of the wins was against Atto. He might have played against Diaz. Actually, it's probably Diaz, let's be honest. He probably went to US East to play Diaz on decentish ping and then lost because it's Diaz on East ping, which is just too good. Mawkzy does not seem to use his Mawkzy flick as much as maybe he should. I mean, definitely during the LAN final, I was thinking he could afford to use his Mawkzy flick a lot more often. But clearly he's decided it has less use cases. There was a lot more air dribble bumping. This is a good bit of defense here. Every shot is kind of slow, because neither one of them have boosts, but yeah, Mawkzy's not going to survive. Nugget going to make it 5-4. Saving it for Worlds. Mawkzy is really farming the content now with 2 minutes left to go. And down in the series and down in the game. Would send himself to lowers. Mawkzy moving mechy right now, but not able to get a goal out of it. He does get a boost steal. Nugget spawns on the other side, which I was actually going to say is probably better for him, because then he gets 100. If he spawned on Mawkzy's side, he wouldn't have 100. But he got his 100 and just quickly rushed to the ball and then kind of tried to switch. He tried to be fast to the ball and then turn to shadow. I think you got to do one or the other. Of course, dunks in those situations are often miserable. So he did not want to try and dive the ball and felt like that dunk would be even worse than shadowing. 5-5 with 1:12 left to go. A banger from Nugget, though, puts him back in the lead. Mawkzy misses on this one. An important shot as well. Chance there to tie. With 1 minute left to go. Nuggets popping this one up into the corner. Mawkzy, interesting on no boost to double jump towards that ball. That really does not seem like the play. going to be hard to get a complete win. Even if you do, you have such a boost disadvantage. You're going to have to sit and float for hours to get back down to the ground. And you're playing right into Nuggget's speed game that he wants to play. 7-5, 40 seconds left to go. If Mawkzy's farming content, it's time to stop farming. And maybe he's doing just that. 7-6, 33 seconds. Nice, powerful first touch to get him out ahead of Nugget. Not fully ahead, but enough that Nugget's out of position. Kickoff in favor of the Mawk. Catch and flick. I think I prefer this over his double jump bumping he had been defaulting to earlier. But he does need a goal quickly now. Start from the back wall. Heavy first touch on the bounce. Nugget on 0. Will tap it away and die. 12 seconds. Where's the respawn from Nugget? It's nowhere near the ball. The content is being farmed. 7-7 with 8 seconds left to go. If Nugget gets a goal, he advances to the grand finals. Mawkzy's just trying to force game 7. Another wave dash kickoff in his favor. Has the catch. Has the double jump. No, he flicks late. I like the mix-up. Nugget was expecting a double jump bump. Pre-jumped it. But still, Nugget able to make the save. OT. This kickoff in favor of Nuggets, who's going to be first in the midfield 100. Has a shot attempt here. Puts it on target. Nugget advances to the grand finals. A 3-1 over the Mawk. He'll probably have Mawkzy back when the grand finals comes around. And it's going to be 2 lives for Nugget when it happens. Mawkzy will have to win 2 series straight if he wants to win the EU Cash Cup. Here we go. We have ourselves a winner, a grand final. These guys played in the winners finals. Now it is grand finals. Nugget with an extra life. And Mawkzy has defeated Proposa down in the lower bracket and has found his way back. What I think we'll probably do if these games do go on YouTube, I think we're just going to include all of the matches between Mawkzy and Nugget in one video. So we'll have the winners finals, the grand finals, and the grand finals bracket reset if needed. Assuming that, you know, Mawkzy would get a win and force a 3rd round. So you might have just finished the previous games and wondered why is there more video left? Well, that's because why not just combine them all into one nice big video for the EU Cash Cup. Nuggets has been playing some solid 1v1 in this tournament. Obviously has to in order to come into the grand final undefeated. But had a good series against Mawkzy. Rocking the new BDS decal, speedy as ever. And being a pest. Forcing the best out of the EU RLCS champion. But you farm less viewership? I'm not sure that you do end up farming less viewership. Maybe slightly less for splitting the videos. But YouTube also doesn't mind a well-watched video. So if it's nice and long, 2 series, everybody knows the context, watches a lot of it. And sometimes it'll actually end up getting more views. I don't know if it's collectively. But I think it's just about giving the people what they want. And I think if you do a Mawkzy Nugget video, people watch the first one, then another Mawkzy Nugget video releases, they're like, what, dude, I watched this already. Why are you putting out another video of this game I already saw? And so that one will do way worse. Mawkzy, though, trying to quickly, everybody forgets about how the first matchup between these two went. I was given a lot of flack about Mawkzy and his place in the tier list before RLCS 1v1s. But in my defense, Mawkzy loves to play so many games and will play so often. And in states where like he's in the middle of a subathon on day 16, that sometimes he'll catch losses that would reflect a lower position on the tier list as opposed to people who are more selective with the games they play. And that could be the case here, you could argue, with this loss to Nuqqet he has now gotten in a tournament game. But of course, he could help make up for that by just getting 2 quick sweeps. If he were to 3-0, 3-0 him in the grand finals, it would show that he is quite locked in. And we can forget about the loss from earlier. Just title the first one, Zen versus Nupo. That does do quite well. The 2 videos that have done the best probably recently on the channel have been Zen versus Nupo. And then the 2v2 mix-up, which included Zen, Nupo, Drowley, Atto, Nas. I mean, that was just a strong lobby. That was just good content in general. So, listen, does that mean that I'm responsible for the DDoSing and that I'm specifically trying to make the pros unable to play ranked so that they instead play in lobbies on my stream? I mean, listen, you'd be quite the conspiracy theorist if you thought that. Nuggets gonna get a second goal. Mawkzy locking in and blowing out game number 1. Add beef. Oh my goodness, we're just approaching Rizzo plays Chinese Rocket League level views if we add Zen, Nupo, and beef. Nah, that's the thing about competitive Rocket League is even that it's just, well, first off, the hype around it is just a little bit lower, I think, anyways. But the fact that that video is close to a mil, just casual mil. If I ever see the day. Mawkzy gonna make it 8-3. This is not a rewatch. This is happening live on twitch.tv/Feer, as well as twitch.tv/Mawkzy_, and I think as well as twitch.tv/NuggetRLL. So, a few different places to watch it. And unless we perfectly synced all of our replays that we're showing you guys, I think you're watching it live. Rocket League needs to advertise the esport more. Like Counter-Strike 2, they have articles in-game for their majors, and you can watch the major from the game itself. Yeah, it does seem like that would certainly not hurt. So I think the prediction got modified, right? Is it now just for this first series? Who wins first series? Mawkzy still has 73% of the votes after losing to Nuqqet. And I think that's appropriate. It is now tournament elimination on the line. Mawkzy has been locked in here. We'll have to see if Nuqqet can get any shred of momentum before game 2. Try and show a spark, or if we're going to have to just quickly rush to the reset of the bracket. Who gives more views, NA or EU? I would say EU. EU clickbait names are clickbaitier. Those that play on EU servers. Nupo is pretty high up there right now. It's Mina, technically. Zen is number 1, I'm sure, in terms of just... like, you'll see videos without Zen in them, and they'll have, like, Zen in the thumbnail, right? People will be like, I played this pro in a 1v1. Do you think I scored a single goal? And it'll be like Zen. And then you hop in, and it's like someone who has once made a main event 3 years ago, and not Zen. But they'll use Zen as the name. Nuqqet and Mawkzy. Nuggets has to get something going here quickly. He evened out the game a little bit late, but only after Mawkzy had a huge lead. Double jump bump and demo, I should say. will put him right on top right away. You need to be top 8 for the title Cash Cup. I don't think you can get a title from Cash Cups, period. You can win them and you're still not getting an in-game title if that's what you think. Oh my goodness, Mawkzy, the content. Always a content farmer. Please tell me. Oh, we don't get to watch it again. The mock tent. Wide open net. How loud of a ping crossbar hit can we get instead? All right, this is exactly the response Nugget needed if he wants to try and end it here in the grand finals and not the resets. 3-0. Still only a minute in, though. Far from securing this game. It's just Mawkzy had the game, or the series, tilting heavily in his favor. Pre-flip flick? Denied. Maybe we'll see Evo do it later tonight when we watch Evo versus Diaz. But for now, Mawkzy will just wish, and Nugget will get a fourth. Another one for Nuggets. Not even at the forfeit line yet in a ranked game. 5-0. Nuggets has a big boost advantage here. This time Mawkzy gets to use his crossbar ability for good as he sends one into his own crossbar defensively. Works out well. Double jump bump. Mawkzy sure loves his double jump bump right now. It will get him a goal, so it's hard to blame him in this instance. Air dribble bumps, I would say, are much higher arcing and a lot more dribbling than the ones that Mawkzy is setting up right now. He's doing carries and doing pretty low to the ground or low amount of aerialing double jumps into bumping. Nugget kind of faking a challenge there with wall dashes, but not able to get Mawkzy to commit. Can he cut this on target? Great flick bump. Nice play from Nuggets. 7-2. Need some finesse here to get just the right catch and then get a strong flick out of it. Mawkzy been trying the bump plays. Weren't working. Goes back to his flick. Now is able to find a demo. Nugget should respawn. Pre-jumps. 50 is in. Nugget looks really good right now. Can't help but feel like he hurt his rep doing what he did in SSA. Yeah, there's no question that getting banned is not great. We have a lot of first-time chatters who will be supportive of Mawkzy, which makes a lot of sense considering he was the RLCS champion. But what's always interesting to me is Mawkzy's live. So, like, you'd think the super Mawkzy fans are in the Mawkzy chat. And so I don't know if they're coming over just to drop in like a Mawkzy's the GOAT real quick before heading back. Or maybe they don't know that Mawkzy is live. You can even watch him from his POV if you want. Mawkzy clawing this one back a little bit with 57 seconds left to go. Let's go, Mawkzy. Oh, he's doing no cam, no mic. Gotcha. I wasn't sure if he was locking into that level for this Cash Cup. I know that's what he would do in big tournament games. Which isn't to say this isn't a big tournament game. There's a good amount of money on the line. $300 to go from 1,000 for first and 700 for second. Nice read from Nuggets on this kickoff. Crucial one. Look at the camera check too. You love to see that. That is high level play. Pulling the camera back to see what Mawkzy's up to. He's doing it again. Just checking to see if he's going to delay and if he should adjust his kickoff accordingly. Too many ads on Mawkzy's stream. Oh, does Mawkzy just max him out? Does he just turn him up? You think Yam would have won that 1v1 if he used wave dash kickoffs instead of a normal one? Yeah, I mean, he definitely could have afforded to change his kickoff up a little bit in that land 1v1. But Mawkzy could have afforded to change up his attack after going for an air dribble bump for the 7 billionth time. And he might have done a little bit better too. So there's a lot of what ifs. Ooh, nice chain dash, Nugget. 1-1. Nuggets, a demo play. Can he get back around it and score it? He will. Nice opening for Nuggets. Mirrored wave dash kickoff. Psycho? Pretty strong Psycho, to be honest. Off target and lands short, but still forces Mawkzy back into the blue half. Nuggets in a bit of trouble now with the awkward landing, and he will get scored on. We could do EU Cash Cup 1v1 Grand Finals. Mawkzy versus Nuggets. There you go. Oh, you just type exclamation point title in the future parkour. You don't need to put change title. Nice flick from Nuggets. Tying up 2-2. Nugget not going to be able to get his own back corner boost here. Will that be enough of a difference that Mawkzy's able to score off it? Another star. Nuggets picking up pads and saving them. 36 boost to work with. And we'll try and use it now. He's going to get, I was going to say going to get demoed, but he survives. And now he's bumping Mawkzy back. Has a carry. Needed a bit more power on that flick. Didn't get it. So Mawkzy getting immediately dunked every time he gets possession. And that's just the Nugget way, man. Nugget's not interested in doing too much shadowing. He wants to turn right back on top of it. Nuggets has the boost to get back to this one. Mawkzy wants the demo. Didn't get it. We'll head out to the midfield. Nugget wants to demo now. We just went from wall dash chains to try and bump. It was really greedy, and Mawkzy will punish him for it. He says, what are you doing here in my corner, brother? Dodge the demo, dash on the wall, and boom the ball to the net. Feels like the pressure is always on Nuggets at all times. Tie game. Feels like it's on the teetering edge of favoring Mawkzy. Next thing you know, he's up 2-1. Next thing you know, he's forcing bracket reset. Next thing you know, Mawkzy's won yet another tournament. So it's on Nuggets to control the series at all times. And he's got himself a demo in the corner. And a 1-goal lead. Nugget, nice flick. Air roll as he pops up the ball to set up the perfect angle. And then the backflip flick, top right. A location that he seems to prefer putting the ball with any sort of flick, as opposed to Mawkzy's top left. Nugget will dish the ball out to Mawkzy. Says, here you go. Go take it. Put it on net. The game's not close enough. Beautiful crossbar ping. I've gotten so used to it now. Whenever I see a shot that's going to hit it, I'm just waiting. How loud is it going to be this time? Especially the really big shots from like half field that you know for sure are going to hit. Nice placement from Mawkzy. 5-5. Again, I just feel like Nugget has to be in the lead. He cannot ever let Mawkzy equalize during regulation. Because Mawkzy will do things like this. Another quick one. 6-5, minute 32 left to go. He is so good at holding on to his leads. I'd love to see the stats that when you cross the minute mark with any sort of lead for Mawkzy, how often does he hold on to it? Maybe it'd be better to see, like, in 1-goal games that's, you know, cross the minute mark, how effective are people at holding on to it? Now, the good news for Nugget is he's managed to score before that. So it is 6-6. Nugget going to get undercut here. Is he going to try and find a way to stay on the ball? Mawkzy flick. Nugget does not save it. The minute mark is crossed with Mawkzy up 1. Important kickoff possession here for Nuggets, I was going to say, because Nugget needs this advantage to work. Otherwise, we are then into the Mawkzy holding pattern sequence he's so good at. But Nugget won that kickoff, created an advantage, instantly converted on it. We're back to a tie game, really high scoring game, 7-7. Mawkzy. Big clear in and out of the net from Nuggets. He's going to use that dash out of the curve to try and catch back up to the play. But the demo, the respawn! Great respawn choice by Nugget to put himself in the way of the shot. Might even counter. This is the Nugget gameplay we love to see. Mawkzy makes it back in time. Denies the long shot. Now Mawkzy the other way. Resets. Fake. That's what I was expecting there, and that is what happened in this moment. It feels so easy to just not pull the trigger and go for the safer option. Mawkzy now out of the back corner. Nugget tried the backflip challenge to surprise him, but Nugget so often goes for the early challenge. Enough that Mawkzy has started to read it, even if Nuggets is shadowing. And he has it over the top. 3 seconds left to go. Nugget needs a cheese. He does go delay kickoff. Gets it up in the air. Can he get underneath it? He pops this one up. Needs to find some boost and find a shot. Mawkzy's going to fake. Ooh, I wish he had gone. I mean, so often players fake in that situation. Just pretend Mawkzy isn't there and go for a shot, and you maybe, just maybe, bait him. But Mawkzy probably adjusts if he sees Nugget jump. He just actually hits it, but could be crazy. Sorry. Blow my nose there real quick. I thought I muted, but I see that I didn't, so hopefully you didn't have to hear too much of that. Game number 4. The Mock did win game 3. Bringing our chances of going to bracket resets much, much higher. Let's go, Mawkzy. I'm assuming anybody who types that is typing it like it's how Mawkzy said it in the video for the major. Nice scramble around the nets. As Nuggets able to equalize. You know what they normally do for other tournaments, for the person who has the bracket reset and who doesn't, is one, they always put the winner on the left. Or at least I think they usually do. But we don't have a choice because Start GG puts the winner on the orange team. But what we could do is something like this. Thoughts on this? This is what a lot of other broadcasts will do. Oh, except for I have it wrong. I have who has the upper... It should be L over here and W over here. So for grand finals with a bracket reset, they oftentimes will put like a little W next to the person who is coming from the winner's bracket and therefore has 2 lives, and like an L next to the person who doesn't have 2 lives. Then I think if Nugget does lose, they just both have L's, and that way you know if you tune in and they both have L's, you know it's the final game. Mawkzy L is hella disrespectful. Wait, I'm just trying to... You're calling Mawkzy an L? No, I'm just trying to indicate to the viewers what is the current state of the double elimination bracket. But now it does look like it just says L Mawkzy. I don't... Let me put some more spaces on it. It looks even worse. It looks more like L Mawkzy after I add spaces. Okay, what if I do more dashes? Alright, I think we're just gonna take it out. We're not trying to say L Mawkzy, we're just trying to indicate to the viewers Mawkzy has 1 life. He has to win. But will this still not look like L Mawkzy, even if I put parentheses around it? It looks like La Mawkzy. Okay, what do we think about this? Nice play by Mawkzy, by the way. There should be something under the score. Well, the thing is, I don't have anything to modify on my scoreboard other than that name. Let's go, Mawkzy. Nuggets within 2. Half the game left to be played. You guys often ask, when does Feer label these games must win? I just feel like every game is must win for Nuggets. I know technically in this situation, it should be every game is must win for Mawkzy, because Mawkzy's coming out of the lower bracket, but it's just you can't go to a bracket reset with Mawkzy. You can't get into another game. You just need it over as soon as possible. You have to win them all. And right now, Mawkzy getting in a groove. 8-4 Mach as he tries to close out the first of 2 series. Nuggets not out of this one, but man, does it feel like Mawkzy's trying to pull away. Wave dash kickoff loss. These are the kind of goals we need to see going Nuggets way if we want to entertain this one ending in the first series. Nugget has gotten ultra aggressive, more so than he already is, and it's not paying off right now. 10-5 with 1:40 left to go. Nuggets fighting to the bitter end, maybe because of the same reasons I talked about before. Every chance is one he has to capitalize on, and it's not worth wasting any of them with a forfeit. At least he's playing it that way right now. 11-6, especially a super high scoring game like this. Camera check again. Nuggets expecting some delay kickoffs, but Mawkzy with the lead. Doesn't feel like he needs to try and cheese it out, although it is a bit of a safe measure. Mawkzy into his back corner, tries to just snipe a long shot, and he does. Wow. Nugget just switching the field, not even getting that aggressive, just thinking about going to pick up the 100. And you would not think that there was an available shot, but Mawkzy shows he could put the heat on the ball and make it happen. 12-6, he's doubled up Nugget. Normally 6, a very respectable amount to score in a 1v1. But it looks silly here next to Mawkzy's 12. Nugget staring Mawkzy down. Series 1 will go to the Mach. 3-1. We talked about how Mawkzy could erase his loss with a 3-0, 3-0. Well, he doesn't have that, but he has the beginnings of a set of series that would show that he's still top dog. Who's better, Mawkzy or Rawas? If we have it our way, we'll get to find out in Lyon. But until then, it's hard to say. Foggy Sauce 64. Thank you for the 8 months, tier 1. Series 1 to the Mach. The winners finals to Nuggets. The grand finals to Mawkzy. The finals coming up next. Chat, here we go. It is the grand finals for real though, of Mawkzy versus Nuggets. Nugget now on the blue team because of the bracket resets, which means I have to change where the L's are at. The L's, I think, are standard practice for double elimination brackets to indicate that Both these guys have caught a loss now, meaning there is only one series left. Winner of this one will get first place in the $1,000 in the EU Cash Cup. Second place walks away with $700, so not bad, but not as much. And the pressure is certainly on Nuqqet, who won the winners finals in a bit of an upset and needs to show he can do it twice. Not an easy thing to do against RLCS EU champion and only RLCS LAN champion we've seen so far, Mawkzy. We have reset the best of 5 scores, and we're back into the action. Nuqqet, look at that camera work. We saw some impressive camera work from him earlier. This time, popping the ball and then just basically putting car cam on. And not the normal car cam, but Mawkzy car cam. Which is funny because in 1v1, that would certainly be a camera mode that could be implemented without it being too egregious. Which is a mode in which you're locked in on the ball, a mode in which you're just looking forward, the normal car cam. And then a mode in which you're locked in on the opponents would certainly be something I could see players using. I can imagine in other game modes, you know, which opponents to lock into makes it pretty much useless because there's too many people on the field. But in 1v1, locking in on the only opponents is oftentimes what players are trying to do with their manual camera movements. As Nuqqet will win a kickoff to make sure he's still close in this one. Bracket resets have been intentionally avoided in the RLCS this time around, I think for good reason. Now, there are, you know, communities that are very used to bracket resets, and I don't think they see the same, you know, drop-off in viewership that regular or like Rocket League did when they were commonly using double elimination brackets. Basically, after the first series, everyone would just assume that that was the real grand finals, and then the bracket reset, which in theory is the actual grand final, would oftentimes have less viewership than the first one because everyone's just like, oh, it's over. Somebody won the grand finals right there. But I know like Melee and other fighting communities, or at least Melee, always every single tournament, no matter where you go, no matter what you do, every single time it's double elimination. So that whole community is very used to the grand finals and the bracket reset. It's not like something even thought twice about, which is also where I'm stealing the WL format from in the names. But I think the Rocket League community is a little bit less accustomed to the bracket reset. Double elimination is just a very, very popular format. I actually think for that reason, the fact that the Rocket League community isn't as, you know, accustomed to it, or just the generic sports watching community who's not as used to like these kind of tournaments, they enjoy a good, clean, the grand finals is the winner who wins, which is why I like the hybrid bracket that Rocket League has right now, which goes into single elimination at the end. Makes it very clear to understand. Makes the grand final a little bit hyper, because otherwise every time one person has a little bit, you know, less at stake, they always have another life. But yeah, I know the Melee community too has like talks about going 0-2. So they talk about like 0-2 players, and what that means is they're talking about people who go into double elimination brackets and just lose both of their first 2 games, which is like, you know, bottom quarter of all the people playing in the tournaments and stuff. Like that's how ubiquitous, is that the right word, double elimination brackets are. That everybody is always assuming every tournament is that format. Which just isn't the case in Rocket League. But Mawkzy, although he was playing close here with Nuggets at the start of the game has now extended the lead up to 8-3, and will make it more 9-3. This is the kind of snowballing we were saying Nuqqet needed to prevent. He let it go to a second series, and now the snowball is even bigger. Mawkzy sends one into the crossbar. Nuggets, not the kind of shot he's going to need. He wanted the wave dash bump. He's actually getting it, but not in the format he wanted. The triple bump. Probably needs a goal right now. Needs to have possession. Doesn't have it. It's over. Mawkzy's too good at securing his games. So, in the last 5 games played, Mawkzy has now won 4 of them. 4-1. And it does not seem like the momentum is slowing down at all. NA 1v1 RLCS is after the 3 regionals. So every 2 weeks, you'll see an NA regional. One of them finishes this week. 2 weeks from then, you'll see the next one. 2 weeks from then. And then so after all that, 2 weeks after that will be the 1v1s. That's just the way I think about it. I don't know the exact dates, though. I'm sure someone will be able to find them for you. Nice flick from Nuqqet. 6-9 with 20 seconds left to go. Mawkzy bumped. Wait a second. I called this early. Somebody in the YouTube comments said, why does the commentator always insist on calling it early? I swear I didn't call this one early. This should absolutely be a Mawkzy win. By all means. And it still will be. But Nuqqet has insisted on making it seem like there was a chance. But it will end 10-7. Mawkzy will take game number 1. Game 2. The moment is now. The moment was before. The moment will hopefully not be too late for Nuqqet to take over. He has to show that he can compete here in this grand finals with Mawkzy. But Mawkzy in a great position to start game number 2 already. Nuqqet was trying to switch the field there, missed it. Fortunately, Mawkzy, a bit of a mechanical mistake as well. So still no first goal for Mawk. But he'll swing back out to the midfield and start again. This flick too high. So to the midfield he goes. A little bit of aerial gameplay. Ceiling reset from Mawkzy. Does decide to use the flip. Nuggets is in defense simulator here for the first 50 seconds. But he loves a good counterattack out of defense. And he's on the board first. Give Nuqqet 20 boost. A dash and a dream. And he will send 100km/h shots to your half. And he'll get another one off the kickoff to make it 2-0. Nuggets seems to read that Mawkzy's going to come challenge the ball off the kickoff after Nuqqet won it. Gets the perfect 50 to make it 3-0 in his favor. Nuggets wave dash kickoff, sending Mawkzy all the way across the field. And what kind of buffer is necessary to feel comfortable in a match against Mawkzy? Is it 4-0 with 341? No, I disagree. Is it 5-0 with 337? I'm still not sure you're safe. Camera toggles from Nuqqet off the kickoff. Mawkzy, really aggressive first touch. He seems to be mixing up how he's playing. We haven't seen him dabble with the aerial game too much at all so far. And now, having not put in a goal so far in this game, seems desperate to score that one quickly. He'll get one finally. Outplay in the midfield as these two were vying back and forth for control. Mawkzy on the board. Nuggets. Wow, such a good counterattack. He's going to score? This is ridiculous from Nuggets. The fact that he's able to turn it around out of the corner, too. Chain some dashes together. All of a sudden, Mawkzy can't do anything. And then the finish as well. Such a strong wave dash shot. Just the amount of control that Nuggets able to do on such a harsh angle back towards the other side. Not something that Mawkzy's normally having to prep for. And because he's not used to it, he finds himself out of position. Will score on a kickoff, though, to keep himself within 4. North American Cash Cup later today, starting at 7 Eastern. You will see us there. Nuggets trying to use a flip to cancel the bump to the moon. It didn't work. Mawkzy attempted to send him into the stratosphere. That flip instantly cancels all your vertical momentum. So Nuqqet keeping himself from going too far away. Still not enough, though. Mawkzy, wave dash, kickoff, the bump, and the 5-6 to bring himself just a little bit closer. Nuqqet strikes back. Again, another kickoff where he's moving his camera a ton to see what Mawkzy's up to. You don't pin your own chat. The L next to the players' names indicates my hatred of them. That is not true. See, this is the problem with double elimination brackets for the Rocket League community who's less used to it. All this means is they both caught at least one L on their way to this grand finals, which means no lives left. All the marbles are on the line right now. Nuggets, nice interception. Such a high-scoring game. 8-6 with 2 minutes left to go. Nugget, steal a corner boost. I keep thinking, oh, it's 8-6. You have a 2-goal lead. It's time to start time wasting and secure it. But no, it isn't. I mean, there's 2 minutes left. Normally an 8-6 lead indicates the game is over, or at least close to it. But it doesn't in this case. And neither does 9-6. Still 1:36 left to be played. It's definitely not time to try and slow the game down and waste time. I mean, if you can effectively do it, sure, because there shouldn't be this many goals. But at the pace at which goals are being scored, we're going to see another 3 goals easily. Nice flick from Nuqqet. Mawkzy sends it crossbar. Fake from Nuqqet is not a mistake, actually. I was going to say it was maybe a mistake if it left the ball in a spot where Mawkzy can shoot, but instead Nuqqet keeps himself around and is able to control the clear and not allow Mawkzy a quick shot. So actually a great decision to pull out of it. Now that's a really lame double jump bump, and it should result in a counterattack for Mawkzy, and it will. Cannot put that weak of an attack on a net at this level and not expect to get scored on the other way. Wave dash kickoff for Mawkzy. Nuqqet forced immediately into defense. He'll challenge early. And it's boost advantage for Mawkzy as he looks to extend this. Pre-flipped into a reset. Nugget! Oh my goodness, I was going to say Nugget somehow is not going to die here, as there were just a couple pixels separating the two of their hitboxes after the landing. Oh, Nugget, what a save! The wave dash recovery to get back to the ball and not let that one through. Nuggets may have just clutched out one of the best saves we will see today. 10-7 with 25 seconds left to go. Nugget looking to equalize the series. And most importantly, try and slow down that momentum from Mawkzy, who's on a few game win streak. Nuggets, this challenge does connect. Mawkzy on the wrong side of the ball. Game number 2 will go to Nuggets. A nasty save ices it out. We had a game 3. Game 3. Yeah, we can go back and watch Nuggets save. You just got to remind me later. I forgot to mark it, as Mawkzy will score first in this one. Just a really good dash landing from Nuggets to recover and make the play. Mawkzy, flick top left, saves. Nugget has landed on the backboard, but I don't think he's going to be able to get back to this net. I do kind of want to watch the first save again. Oh, interesting. Like, pinched it on the wrong side of the ball. Now, think about the start to the previous game. Nuggets went up 5-0. Is that right? It's early. Just a little bit over a minute in. And we weren't sure if that was safe or not, and it turned out not really to be. I mean, Mawkzy made it interesting at the end. Now we ask of Nuggets, can you do the same? Mawkzy has taken a 4-0 lead under a minute. These feel safe for Mawkzy. Nugget has to prove they're not. Mawkzy already taking the ball back into his corner and seemingly starting to play that possession game. Nuggets, I don't think he's going to necessarily mind having to try and turn the brain off and just attack to make it back, but I'm not sure if he'll succeed. .6-0 for Mawkzy. Oh, nope. I called it early. He couldn't quite get to it in time to keep it from going high. Nugget counter. No. Mawkzy is there. Mawkzy, double jump bump. And a follow-up bump after Nugget makes the first save. 6-0. Not a single goal for Nugget here. After he was able to steal one in game 2. I shouldn't say steal one. He did lead the whole way. Nuggets side flipping to box Mawkzy out. Now, technically, we are not even halfway through. So there is a lot of time for Nugget to bring it back. We saw him go on essentially a 5-goal streak in the previous game. But the context of this one will be a little bit differently. Mawkzy knows he can let a couple in and almost waste time, as opposed to feeling like he needs to be risky and claw back, which of course makes it even easier for the opponent. 7-1 now after Mawkzy's flick. Nugget needs to prevent the tilt here. Nice save from Mawkzy. Not trying to let Nugget get anything going. At this point, you're playing the mental game. You need to find a way to be prepared for the next couple games. Nugget is not out of it. It's not like this game win secures it for Mawkzy. But the mental advantage that he gets from it so often is insurmountable for players. Nugget needs to find a way to not tilt out of the series is really all I'm trying to say. It could be helpful for Mawkzy to miss on occasion like he did there. Nugget, nice beats. On the board. Just needs to make this one close. Doesn't even necessarily need to worry about winning it. Nugget not going to take the sidewall air dribble. Instead, going to cut to the ground and got way overexcited. Landed in reverse and jumped as if there was a chance in the world that he'd be able to double it in off the backboard, but there was not. So 9-2. Make it 9-3 as Nugget scores quickly off the kickoff, but I'm not sure there will be enough time. What a first touch reset to launch himself back down. Nugget freestyling now in the loss. Double jump bump. Nugget's done such a good job of dodging those and will even counter. I mean, he's trying to teach Mawkzy a lesson about going for them. I think they have more often resulted in Nugget goals than they have Mawkzy goals, which means it's a pretty low effectiveness of any sort of attack where Mawkzy has possession and is at the blue net. The fact that the result of that play is more often him getting scored on than not means he probably should be a little bit more careful with when he uses them. Nuggets gonna get another one. 9-5. 40 seconds. Oh, little temporary rule one there with Nugget in reverse. Has to just immediately take this to net. Can't afford to slow down. Can afford to fake maybe, but needs it to go straight in the net. Mawkzy save. Ends game number 3. Mawkzy will be on match points. Nugget going to have to win 2 in a row if he wants to secure the upsets over the EU champion. Nugget was not able to be there during EU RLCS. This is his moment to show he would have been a force to be reckoned with. Oh my goodness. I mean, again, Nugget's doing the same thing he did last time. This isn't a game. It's not possible. It's truly not possible. But he's trying to make it seem like it is. Like I said, not possible. Game 3 goes to the Mawk. 1 win away from another tournament victory. Nugget fans are going to want to be seeing an early surge here for Nugget in Game 4. And it's not the best sign ever that he's immediately put into nets and having to defend. But he has done pretty well out of his net in the past. Not quick enough to make this save. Mawkzy puts himself right back in the lead. Mawkzy 2-0. His standard kickoff is 1. Mawkzy likes to go to his standard kickoff most often from the diagonals. Otherwise, he prefers a wave dash, although he will use it everywhere. Nuggets slammed to the other side of the field, but still will be first back to the ball. And he's on the board. This time much earlier, not letting Mawkzy get 5 goals ahead before he puts one on. In fact, he's going to equalize at 4:20. 2-2. Seems like we're in for another high-scoring game. 5 goals. We haven't even crossed a minute yet. As Mawkzy's able to convert on another first possession. And Nuggets, you need to touch the ball there. These kind of mental mistakes, not possible to make and still win. He says calculated. He was trying to pull his car back, chip it just barely with a diagonal, and then dash onto the wall to make sure he got a good landing and a good recovery. But he over-prioritized the landing and just did not connect with the ball. And I said we had 5 goals. I meant to say we had 7 goals before the first minute. Are we going to have a 35-goal game? Probably not. Would have to be the most goals scored in a grand final of a tournament. I mean, I would say just in general, but we add like one caveat, call it grand final or something, and I'm sure there's nothing else that would have come close. Nuggets going to get a 3rd goal. It's going to take a lot more time than all the other ones did, as he bumps and then demos Mawkzy to bring himself back within 2. Another kickoff goal, would you imagine? 6-3. Wave dash kickoff into bump. Nugget out of position. Kickoff goal again. 7-3. Surely not another one, right? 8-3. Nuggets go on to the standard kickoff for getting the boost. Or sorry, for getting the ball and going straight for the boost. Another wave dash kickoff miss. 9-3. Oh my goodness. A 6-goal lead with 3 minutes and 14 left to go. Mawkzy trying to get double digits before halfway. He'd be on pace for a 20-goal game. Nugget double jump bump. Mawkzy gets enough. And he's able to recover back and make a save. I want to see 10 goals before halftime for Mawkzy at this point. But I'm not sure it's going to happen. Nugget has possession. He's going for a Diaz challenge off the back wall. Nice shot. It's in. Mawkzy got a touch, but not enough to stop him. Nugget not backing down. It's not going to be easy. He has dug himself a massive hole. Mawkzy decides not to bring the ball to Nugget. He is starting the time waste already. And why not? I mean, he has a 5-goal lead with 2.5 minutes left to go. This is time waste Mawkzy, where he knows Nugget has no choice but to chase him down. And he can just cut it around him. He's up 6 with 2 minutes 15. Nuggets reset short of the ceiling. Great placement, great double. Every time we want to give up on him, he shows he's still got some life in him. But man, does he need a bit more than just the occasional clip here and there when Mawkzy has doubled him up in scoring so far. Mawkzy not going to own goal here. Did not pick up his own corner boost. He's trying to chase Nuqqet off the ball. At some point, that chase makes no sense. And it is time to turn back, which is what Mawkzy does. Nuggets not the chip over the top of Mawkzy that he wanted. 11-5. I think he was expecting to have to dodge a demo. He thought Mawkzy was going to keep going. And he was going to chip it over him and take the ball away. But Mawkzy hit the brakes. So Nuqqet tried to pull off of his jump. And that was just too late. It ends up tapping the ball over to Mawkzy, but it was the threat of the demo or the challenge that made him make that mistake. What a fake from Mawkzy. He's going to toggle some camera to really flex on him. 12-5. Nuqqet may have won the winner's final, but Mawkzy is locked in here with everything on the line. Nuqqet bumping him around. At this point, it seems like he's just running it for fun. Mawkzy 180 flick. Cleaned up. I can't imagine Nuqqet scoring 7 goals in 1 minute. He would need a goal every couple seconds, and he's not getting just that. Mawkzy's tournament streak will not be denied here by Mr. Nuqqet. Jorias! Thank you for the raid of 166 million viewers. Much appreciated. Hope you had a good stream today. I have one thing to say to you, Jorias.
More and more. Go, go, go.
13-6. The domination continues. Nuqqet not giving up. He says it's but a flesh wound. I can make it back up. No forfeit for me. The timer hit 0. It is confirmed. Mawkzy has done it. Nuggets trying to get one for the road. And it seems like we will see 20 goals in game 4. 13-7, GG's, Mawkzy, your EU Cash Cup 1v1 champion. Flying high on a thunder track. Go, 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 Joris.